Hello?
I think they're doing the intro and then coming to us.
Is that you, Jeff?
Yeah.
Hey, brother. How are you?
Everybody, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and tonight my co-host is my good friend David. Hello, David.
Hello, Pam. How are you feeling today?
We're good. I'm excited about tonight's show. You?
I am very much.
Okay. Well, I guess because I have a long intro, I'm going to go ahead and go right into that. Tonight we welcome the founders of PAOS Revolution, and we have Jordi Villasuso, who's an Emmy winner for Outstanding Younger Actor on Guiding Light as Tony Santos. He also played Dr. Griffin Castile on All My Children. We also have Jeff Dockweiler, who is one of the best acting coaches in Hollywood, and he was on the set of All My Children in 2010. Last but not least, we have John Homa, an acclaimed acting coach for 25 years, and he was a consultant on General Hospital in 1994, and has a number of clients he worked with on GH that have been nominated and or received daytime Emmys. So welcome, guys. How are you?
Hey guys. Simmer down.
How you like that intro, huh?
David sounded very enthusiastic.
Very enthused. How you guys doing?
We're doing well, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, this is the first time David is co-hosting with me, and
very cool.
I think we'll have a good show.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Absolutely.
So is everybody ready to get questioned?
Yeah. Well, first off, Pam,
fire away.
Where are you guys located? Where are you?
I'm in Chicago, and David is in New York.
Oh, my goodness. So are you guys bombarded by this blizzard, or what? What's going on down there?
Well, in Chicago we had some snow, but we didn't have a lot. David, how much snow did you get?
We got about 13 inches of snow.
Wow. But everybody's safe?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's good?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. It wasn't that big a deal.
New York?
I'm on the west side of Schenectady.
Oh, you're up there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm up there.
No, I was in New York City for a couple of these, and they're actually fun, but they can also be, obviously very dangerous. But they're a lot of fun at the same time when the whole city shuts down for snow.
Yeah.
Well, it always cracks me up, like when on the like say in Georgia or something, they'll get a couple inches of snow and they'll shut down the whole state.
I can speak for that. I went to high school in Atlanta, and the first year I was there, they had snow. There was snow flurries that sat on the flower beds, and they canceled school.
Oh, really?
Nothing on the streets, nothing in the grass.
Oh.
Just on the flower bed.
I thought I found the best place in the world to go to school.
Yeah, definitely. Because I know here in Chicago they do not close down school unless we have an actual blizzard. Otherwise, your butt goes every day.
Well, and you're very prepared for it. It's like when it rains in Los Angeles. We don't have the driving capacity to deal with that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like all hell breaks loose.
Oh, that is too funny. Everybody always forgets how to drive.
Absolutely.
That is so funny. That just cracks me up. But let me say, I'd say all of you guys have had very successful careers under your belt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Jordi, what was the first thought that went through your head when you were nominated for a daytime Emmy? Did you write a speech or did you wing it?
The first time, I believe, I was nominated in 2001, and I did write a speech. And I'll never forget, I was sitting right next to the late Paul Rouse. He passed away this year. And he was fantastic. You know, he was the first real old school and first boss I ever had in this industry that I really got to know. And he sat right next to me at the daytime Emmys, and he was a real force to be reckoned with, both, on set and, more of a, I was very young. I was 20 years old, and he was very much a paternal figure to me. But the first year that I was nominated, I don't think, it's funny, like all my friends were watching, of course, and when I didn't win, they said my reaction was not a practiced one. It was it's just one of those looks that you do not want to share with other people. So I'm happy that, I haven't seen it on YouTube yet, so hopefully it's not out there somewhere in the internet landscape. But when I did win, I just remembered that, I wrote down a list of people that I wanted to thank, and I actually thanked everyone, including Paul, who is no longer my executive producer, and I, named everyone from my agent on down, except for my manager, who I'd been with for, since I started in the industry, since I was 11 years old, and to this day, we still talk about it. Wow. So we talk about it because she's my manager now, and I told her, when the first person I thanked was God in my speech, and I told her, you know what, right after God, you will be the first person that I thank once I win my next award. And we always joke about it. So I think it's very important in this industry to thank people and to remember where you came from, because it's such a difficult business, and it's very hard to get people to believe in you. And when you do find people like that, it's very important to hold on to them and always thank them and appreciate what they've done for you. So I've, learned that lesson. She will not let me forget that lesson.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking that this was a moment that I was really going to enjoy. And I think if you ever watch the video, you can see that, like, I was just having fun. I wasn't reading off a note card. So I got to experience that from a 21, 22-year-old's perspective.
Well, don't feel too bad, because I know that you're not the only one that's forgotten to thank somebody.
I know. You hear the horror stories all the time.
Yes.
But I was very fortunate. I was very fortunate to, of course, every time the Emmys came around, I went to the Emmys back then when I was getting 3 times, and my family from Miami, are very supportive of my career, and we always bought tickets for everyone in my family, and I was very fortunate that my grandfather was able to be there, who's still alive. He's the only grandparent still around, and he was there when I won. And I remember when my name was announced, my father was sitting right next to him, and he had to hold him because he was afraid that he would go into cardiac arrest, because he was so happy and so excited about me winning. But needless to say, in the lobby of, it was actually at Radio City Music Hall, there were a lot of tears shed among the men in my family, which was a beautiful thing.
Oh, definitely.
I'll tell you, Jordy, when you look back on that, what year was that?
That was 2003. 2003.
When you look back, because I started going probably in '95. When you look back on those days at Radio City, then they moved them down to Madison Square Garden, but then back up to Radio City. It was so completely different than what it was even 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, the crowds were insane.
Oh my God!
I mean, it took. I escorted Kimberly McCullough, my first Emmy, and Emmys, and it took 7 cops, New York cops, to get us from Radio City back to the hotel. That's how insane that was. And, I mean, just the fan turnout was it was unbelievable. And one of those things you're just never going to forget.
No, the fandom was crazy. They had, I remember, barricades around Radio City Music Hall, and it was just a completely different event from the last time I experienced, which was in Vegas 2 years ago.
Vegas just kind of blend in.
Right. Yeah, it was just like the hotel lobby, I feel like.
Yeah, even the Kodak. When were we there? That was even like 5-6 years ago. Even that was a big red carpet event, but nothing like New York. No offense to LA, no offense to Vegas, really.
Yeah.
But there was nothing like New York, seriously.
Well, things change, and unfortunately, not always for the good.
No, well, that's one of the reasons we're on this telephone call with you guys. We're on the show with you guys. And thank you once again for having us on. We really, really appreciate it. But
absolutely,
again, things do change, and that's one of the very reasons how we got together in terms of forming PAOS Revolution.
That's so true. It's so true.
Well, that's something what John's talking about. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying thank you for joining us as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, what John was talking about, the whole thing I'm thinking about while these things are being shared, I only got to see the Emmys in the Vegas stage as far as the daytime Emmys go. But the cool thing I think with this is it goes along with what we are with PAOS Revolution. There is a new revolution in daytime, and it's starting up with what Prospect Park is doing. It's another opportunity, I think, for daytime television to be at the forefront of change and technology. And I think it will grow again. It can never be the glory days, but you can have new glory days. And I think that's going to be the fun part of what goes on with the reboot of the show and what we're trying to do with our website and with servicing that loyal fan base that did make New York incredible. So we're really looking forward to that.
We are too, and I know one of the hardest things is change for most people. Especially when you're moving from, even back when everything was on radio and then went to transition to TV, and now it's transitioning to the web. So change is hard for a lot of people, but eventually, they come to terms with it, and I think it'll be very successful once that happens.
And it's all about that change. Even in talking about television with going from television to cable, even though the network, it was still network shows, certain people had to get cable when they didn't have it before, to be able to deal with the digital cable end of what's going on. And I think everybody will grow with it. It is no one likes to change, but when you do, you're happy you did,
Exactly. So it may just take some time, but I think once it's off and running. And it helps, too, that we've already watched how many different web series evolve and, watch them on the Internet. Or you watch your favorite show that you missed, even like, say, a soap. They'll play it on that TV station's web channel, and then you can watch it there. So
the network's websites, the Hulus of the world, iTunes. You have YouTube where people post it themselves. People are starting to get used to that, and it is where television is going as far as Google TV and Apple TV and all those things where it's going to be customizing your playlist just like you do with your music. And like I said, I think it's really cool that daytime shows get to be at the forefront of that, and it may seem like it's a step back now, but it's going to put us a step ahead of everyone else when that transition is made for the long haul.
Exactly. Now, David, you had a question for Jordy about Guiding Light?
I did. Jordy, let's step back a little bit. You're about 20 years old. Who or what brought you to the world of Guiding Light?
I would have to say, the Santos family brought me there, which was the crime family of Springfield at the time. And a casting director by the name of Rod Cena, who actually just got in touch with me on Facebook, who's living in Connecticut, and hopefully when I go up there to shoot All My Children, we'll be able to reconnect. I remember I was 19 years old, and I had tested for soaps a lot. I had tested for GH, like when I was 17. I actually booked a role on Another World, but I think they were actually the first soap to go off, and Another World had been on for a long time. Mm-hmm. And when I booked it, they told me that the role was only going to be on for 6 weeks because they were going to cancel the show. And we decided, my family and I decided that it wouldn't be worth for me to move up to New York just for 6 weeks to do that show. So when Rod Cena, they were looking, it was a national search for the role of Tony Santos, and I remember walking into Rod's office, and thinking, what the hell is a mobster